guys, I am back with another video, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Crysta. This channel is about nursing, mostly. 100% of this channel is about nursing. So you will I'm not gonna say 100%, about 95% of it is about nursing. That's pretty much what I talk about on this channel. So today's video I'm going to talk about prerequisites and prerequisites for nursing. So just a heads up, I am a pre-nursing student. I am going to school to be a nurse, obviously. I am going into the bachelor's program at my local university. I'm taking all of my prerequisites at my community college and I'm transferring them over to my four-year college. I haven't heard a lot of people doing what I'm doing. Most of the people that I've watched online, they're traditionally going to school for their either associates, or they're either going to school for bachelor's. I don't see too many people taking all their prerequisites and transferring them over. And what are prerequisites? Pretty much, prerequisites are classes that you need to take in order to get either into a program. And prerequisites are just classes that you need to just take in general to even get anywhere. So what I'm doing, my prerequisites are to get into a nursing program. The reason why they have prerequisites, I feel like the reason why is just to kind of see if you have just the common knowledge of just English, basic math, basic English, basic reading, writing, things like that. So that's why you need to take prerequisites. They just kind of get you prepped for other things. I have taken close to, I think I counted them up recently actually, and like close to 60 something hours. And that's including prerequisites that I didn't even need to get into my nursing program. I've taken other classes too. So I've taken a lot of prerequisites classes already that will help me out. You can take 3 classes a semester, which is usually like 3, 6, 9, depending on what kind of class you take. Some classes offer 4 credits. Those are usually the ones with labs, like your sciences. Those are usually ones that offer 4, but your traditional classes only offer 3 credits. So you can usually take, I traditionally don't recommend anybody taking, if you are a working person or a mother and all this stuff, I would say take 9 at its most. That's usually about 3 classes. So take 9 credits, that's 3 classes, 3 credit per class. So that's my recommendation. And even if you have, like right now I'm coming towards the end of my nursing prerequisites for my nursing. So I'm literally left with like 2 classes. So I'm gonna take 1 in the fall and then I'm gonna take 1 in the spring. I can take these 2 together, but I just decided to space them out just to give myself a lot more breathing room because I've bust my butt. I literally have taken 3 to 4 classes. Like this past spring, I had 4 classes. 4. Working mom. I'm a working single mother of 2. I still have to cook when I come home. Like right now when I finish this video, I'm gonna go in the room and start cooking. Working mom. I took 4 classes. That was a brain killer. I had A&P 2, which I had to take and get an A in. I had English Comp 2, which I didn't really care if I got an A, B, or C in that class, but I ended up getting a B. And I took nutrition, which I had to get an A in. And then I think I took either US government or Texas government. One of those 2 I took in the spring of this semester. So I took 4 classes and that was a doozy. And that was only because I want to get it over with and I didn't want to go ahead and just add more stuff on to myself. I was like, okay, Crystal, go ahead and just knock these classes out, and then that way towards the end I can slow grind. Now a lot of people say with nursing, you want to do your nursing sciences class in between classes. That may be true for some people. I didn't go that route. I actually did the opposite of what every advisor would tell you. Even my 4-year college advisor told me that, my university advisor was like, no, you need to mix up your science classes in between your regular credit classes like Englishes and math and Englishes and stuff. And I was like, oh no, I kind of took them all at the end. And a lot of people like, you don't want to do them at the end because you don't want to jam them up, but technically I'm not jamming mines up. Mines are actually spaced apart. Like I just took microbiology this summer, I'm taking chemistry in the fall, and I'm taking elementary statistics in the spring. So technically, I am not really jamming them up. I just waited towards the end. And honestly, I'm actually glad I did that, because when I originally went to school, I went to school back in 2008, 2009. If I had taken my sciences back then, by now they wouldn't have been valid. Science classes only last for 5 years. After 5 years, you gotta retake them over. So that's why it's kind of important that you go ahead and get into the program. You get to, you know, do something, because you don't want to have to retake anatomy back over. You don't have to retake those things. That's gonna cost you money that you have to repay, especially if you're not getting any grants or, you know, or any sponsors, scholarships, or whatever. You're gonna have to retake those classes back over. So I'm glad I did mines like that, because that actually ended up being a blessing in disguise for me, and it worked well for me. Now for the average other person, they may want to take their sciences all in the beginning or mix them in. I did mix my anatomy in, I did mix my nutrition in, I did mix those classes in, but now I'm coming down to like my final classes, the math, and I'm coming down with, you know, I'm chemistry, so I'm taking like one at a time. Microbiology I just finished up, so it's like but I also like the way that I'm doing it too, because it makes sure that I secure an A. You got to think about it. If you're taking Comp 2, which requires a lot of writing, if you're taking speech, which also requires a lot of writing and a lot of, you know, PowerPoint, stuff like that, and then let's say you're taking anatomy 2. So you got Comp 2, English Comp 2, introduction to speech, and then you have anatomy physiology 2. Those are 3 very demanding classes, and you have to do good in anatomy. You have to, I mean, you want to do good in anatomy, because that can count overall your points to get into the program. And trust me, when it's time for you to get into that program, you don't want them to be like, well, we had a student that scored 1 point higher than you because she got an A in anatomy and you got a B. And then they're like, we can't let you in this semester, but you can try back next semester. Do you know how far that's gonna put you behind? So it's like, no. And plus, trust me, I'm going to the nights and weekend program in my particular university. So I only have one opportunity to get into the program, honestly, because they only accept for the nights and weekend. They only accept the fall semester. They don't do spring semester in the nights and weekend program at my school. And again, I will do another video to show you, I will leave the link to the videos, or down below or up here somewhere, where you can see the reason why. But my particular program only offer it. So for me, it's kind of like, yeah, I have to do good in these classes. That's how I planned mine out. So that's kind of a breakdown of how I planned out my prerequisites. That may work for some people and it may not work for everybody, but it worked for me. It's actually a straight blessing. I cannot tell you how happy I am the way my schedule has worked out compared to when I see my friends' schedule. Like some of my friends, they're having to retake chemistry back over because when they took it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they got a C. And they got a C because they wasn't really caring about it as much. They were just trying to get the heck out of the class. And so that's my prerequisites, you guys. I hope this video was very informational to you guys. Hopefully you learned something from it that I may have didn't learn. If you want to tell me how you did your prerequisites, and if you felt like the route that I took was just kind of like weird, but at the end of the day, I will always say this: do what works for you. That is my #1 motto as being a mother, as being a person, as a student, whatever. Do what's best for you. Do not do what everybody else is doing. Do what works for your life, for your schedule. And that's what I did with everything. And that's the reason why I can sit up here and tell you guys I'm comfortable with everything. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video.